Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. So we have an Aquaman update. We have a Snyder Cut update. So let's go. Right, I want to talk about the Aquaman post-credit scene. Yes, for the second DCEU movie in a row, we have a post-credit scene. I love the two we had in Justice League. I know so many of us were disappointed with Justice League, but I think those two post-credit scenes were probably two of the best post-credit scenes in any CBM I've ever seen. And I know now that we're probably not going to elaborate more on what we saw in Justice League in those post-credit scenes. I don't think they're going to do anything about that, but it doesn't matter. They were still great. Anyway, if you don't want to know the post-credit scene, you must leave this video until you've seen the film. I'm going to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You gone? Let's go. Right, basically, Black Manta ends up in hospital and the doctor is very curious about his suit. Black Manta makes a bargain with this doctor. Take me to Aquaman and I'll tell you where I got the suit from. Yes, so basically, it's a post-credit scene that doesn't really go outside of the Aquaman universe, but I think that's fine. It's still good. It's still very interesting for the sequel. We know the sequel is in development right now. So 95 million opening weekend for Aquaman in the Chinese box office. Phenomenal, fantastic. And if we're going to get this kind of box office all around the world, it's going to be brilliant. Warner Brothers have just found a way to put a dagger in the heart of the critical media and their agenda. Now, their reviews and what they've got to say about this film is irrelevant. If they're negative about it, it will not matter, because by the time they get a chance to say anything, it's going to be around half the territories around the world, and finally it'll be in America. But by then, because of the box office doing so well, that will be a more positive domino effect than any negative reviews. Now, I don't expect it to be that negative, but you just don't know with these people. There is a big agenda. We know they are very supportive of Disney and less supportive of Warner Brothers. So very important. I think this is a great tactic, and I hope they do this with Shazam and the other films as well. Launch it across the world before the American critics have got a chance to write their reviews. Brilliant. I love it. Absolutely fantastic. Right, who wants a Snyder Cut update? I do. Right, so I'm hearing some things, and I'm sure you may have heard this if you've got your ear to the ground, because I think most of you sometimes know me more than what I do. But apparently, the Snyder Cut will be a sequel to Joss Whedon's Justice League. Very, very interesting. How can this even work? This would be a Justice League 2. Now, this is a very interesting rumour. Nothing solid here. It's just something that's been in my ear. We get many things. And as I say, whether these things are true or not, I think you guys want to hear me talk about the Snyder Cut. I think I want to talk about the Snyder Cut because, you know, what was done to Zack was criminal. But Warner Brothers regret it. Everyone regret it. And we regrets it. And let's just move forward and get excited for the future. Look. We've seen what Momoa's been saying. We know the mainstream media are talking. And in fact, is it HBO in China posted something about Aquaman and someone said something about the Snyder Cut and they replied with something positive. I can't remember exactly what that was. HBO is a Warner Brothers company. It's looking very, very likely that the Snyder Cut will happen, but as a sequel to Justice League. And for me, that is absolutely fantastic. So 2019 could be a massive year. We know we've got Joker. We know we've got Shazam. Can they squeeze a kind of half Snyder Cut of Justice League, a Justice League 2 out of this, with Zack Snyder directing? This will be very, very interesting because this could clean up the Justice League mess. Very, very interestingly. Who knows? My preference would be for Zack to do an Injustice just because it ticks all the boxes. It's right up his street and no one's going to get annoyed about it being too dark. But hey, I can live with this. I know some people may be disappointed if this happens because they want to see his version of Justice League. But I think there's a situation because there's so much footage we've never seen that they can mix a Justice League 2 with a kind of Snyder Cut. it's a kind of merger, I suppose, because you're getting something. Because don't forget, even though there's a lot of the Snyder Cut is very different to Justice League, but still there'll be a lot of elements to his film that we've already seen. But this is something kind of brand new. I think I would be really excited for a Snyder Cut being Justice League 2. I'd actually prefer that. But what do you think, guys? Are you excited that Aquaman is doing well? Would you like the Snyder Cut to be a sequel to Justice League? It could be amazing. We really could have a really exciting 2019.